It looks like we do indeed have a quorum, so we're going to go ahead and get things going. I just want to announce at the top of the meeting that we have a lot of folks who have expressed that they need to leave early. And we also have folks who are traveling or already in Sacramento for the California League of Cities Conference. So thank you so much for attending while you're on the road. It's very much appreciated. And I'm going to do my best to keep the meeting rolling along. In fact, if we could get done by 6:15, that's my goal tonight. So just so folks hear that, so staff hears that, so we can keep our presentations brief. And I'm going to overall shorten public comment to 1 minute per speaker per item. So if there's no objection to that, one more thing actually. For item 15, which is an informational item on electrification, we have an opportunity to invest $1 million and offer $400,000 in incentives to support low and moderate income building electrification in the EBCE service area. I'd like to actually delegate this item to the executive committee. So if there's no objection to that, I want to go ahead and make that suggestion. And I'll ask our general counsel, do we need to take a motion to approve the agenda with that amendment?
Yes, I would recommend that you formally amend it.
Okay. Is it okay if I'm going to go ahead and make a motion to amend the agenda, moving item 15 to the executive committee agenda for next Friday. And I'm going to make the additional change of adding public comment between items 2 and 3 to make sure that we have room for public comment before the closed session item. This was brought to our attention last time by Member Lopez. Thank you. We just neglected to put it on this agenda packet, but we intended to. So those are the 2 changes that I propose we make. Is there a second?
I'll second.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear who that came from.
I think Marquez and Lopez, but whoever.
I think it was Councilmember Marquez.
Okay, I'll take your word for it. So we'll have a second from Council Member Marquez, and I see a hand raised by Member Narum.
Yes, thank you. So could you clarify for me, will item 15 be coming back then with the contract, et cetera, for a vote?
It will, because this is an information item. So okay. Staff, can you correct me? The full board will see this item again, correct?
Yes, I think the thought was, given the timing constraints, that we would present the informational item to the executive committee and then bring it back as an action item to the full board.
Okay, and the action item will include a contract or some.
I expect that is our expectation, and
okay.
that has been our plan, that we wanted to bring a contract forward. Yeah. Great,
thank you.
Okay, colleagues, are there any other questions on amending the agenda for this evening?
Can you please repeat who brought the motion and the second?
Sure, I brought the motion and the second was from Member Marquez from Hayward.
Thank you.
And did you capture the content of the motion, Mr. Clerk?
Yes, to move if you could repeat the motion, please.
Sure, it's we are deferring item 15 and delegating that to the executive committee. And we are adding an item between 2 and 3 to provide public comment on the closed session.
Okay.
And I have a hand raised by Member Hannon in Newark.
Yes, Madam Chair, I have absolutely no objection to deferring item 15 to the executive board. When it comes back to the full board, can I ask that staff maybe put in a paragraph or 2 that highlight some of the discussion questions that the executive board raised, so we then can take those into consideration and not repeat that process? That would be certainly helpful.
Very good. And staff, you hear that request?
Yes, absolutely. Yes.
Okay, very good. We'll
Thank
include
you.
that in the staff report when it comes back to the full board. All right, I just need to check to see if there's any public comment on this approval of the final agenda now that it's been, we have a motion and a second, and I see no hands raised. I'll remind the public that using Zoom, you can use the raise hand feature to be recognized, or if you're calling in, please press *9. And seeing no hands raised, we will I'll bring it back to the clerk to please call the roll.
Thank you. Director Valle,
Aye.
Director Tiedemann. Director Tiedemann. Director Harrison. Director Harrison. Director Hernandez. Director Hernandez. Director Fremont.
Yes. Aye.
Director Cox.
Me. That's fine. Thank you.
Yes. Hayward.
Aye.
Livermore.
Aye.
Newark.
Aye.
Oakland. Piedmont.
Aye.
Aye.
Pleasanton. Thank you.
Aye.
Tracy. Tracy. Union City.
Aye.
San Leandro.
Aye.
And Emeryville.
Aye. And
Motion passes.
thank you, Mr. Clerk. I got ahead of myself and I didn't
Right.
give you a chance to call the roll.
Roll
So
call.
go ahead and turn it over to you now to officially call the roll for this meeting.
Thank you. Thank you. Alameda County.
Present.
Albany. Berkeley. Dublin. Fremont.
It's great. If Teresa's here, that's great because I actually get back to the League of California Cities. Teresa Cox, are you on? I'm not sure if she's still on. If
I'll-
not, I'm here.
I'll note that that she will be the alternate, that she'll take over for the meeting, for Fremont.
Okay, thank-
But thank you. Hayward.
Present.
You can't hear me?
Oh, we can hear you now.
You can
we
hear
can
you now.
hear you. Or-
Yeah. Yeah, I
Okay.
think that's fine.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Livermore.
Here, whatever.
Newark.
Here.
Oakland. Piedmont.
Present.
Pleasanton.
Here.
Tracy. Union City.
Here.
Community Advisory Committee.
Present.
San Leandro. San Leandro.
Present.
Noted. And Emeryville.
I am here and I want to note that Oakland has arrived and they just need to be promoted from the attendees list.
Great. I'll recognize Oakland has arrived.
Thank you.
And yes, we have a quorum.
Very good. And now we will go ahead and see if there is any public comment for item 3, which is the closed session item. Again, I'll remind folks who are joining us via Zoom to please use the raise hand feature. If you're calling in, please press *9. And I'll check in with our city clerk to see if anyone has submitted public comment electronically on item 3.
There have been no submissions for public comment for item 3.
Okay, and I am reviewing the attendees list. I do not see any hands raised, so I will go ahead and close public comment on this item. And colleagues, you should have received a Google Meet invitation from our clerk where we will go ahead and adjourn to closed session. If you have not received this link or you can't find it, you should text or email Adrian or stay in this room
Yes.
and you will be directed to the Google Meet. Okay, so for the members of the public, we will be back here momentarily, and it looks like Member Hernandez has joined us from
Yes.
Dublin as well.
Yes.
So Member Hernandez, we are adjourning to the closed session, which is the Google Meet link. And if you have not received that, stay in here and Adrian will send it to you. Okay, see
Okay,
you,
thank you,
everyone.
Chair. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you.
Hi, Adrian. Sorry. It's been a very busy day.
Thank you. I have noted that you have that you're here. I'm
Okay,
going to go ahead and note that we're in closed session now.
perfect. Do I stay on here?
You should go. There should be a Google Meet link in your email that will admit you to the closed session.
Correct.
So
Sounds
you
good.
should you should disconnect from this meeting
Okay,
and join the Google Meet session.
okay, thanks. Bye.
Thanks.
Director Hannon, are you aware that you're still on this session? The Zoom session?
I'm actually, this is Vice Chair Lopez. I'm actually still in the session because I can't get into Google Meet.
Okay.
I am, I have the app. I'm playing around with the app as I speak. Maybe I'll just continue.
Okay.
Adrian, are you assisting? Oh, Director Lopez dropped, so okay.
Yes, I've let people in, and I see that people are joining.
Got it. Okay, cool. I just wasn't sure. Makes sense. Thanks.
Great. Okay. It looks like everybody has entered into the closed session.
All right, we are trickling back in, folks. So Adrian, let me know when we've got 8 board members and we will get back to our agenda.
Great, thank you.
All right. Member Lopez is in the attendees bucket. If you promote her, we'll have our quorum. And can you promote our council as well?
Yes.
Great, thank you. So we have a quorum, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to open session. I will turn it over to Inder Khalsa to please report out of closed session.
Sorry about that. Good evening, Chair and members of the board. There is nothing to report out of closed session tonight.
Very good, thank you. So that'll bring us to item 5 on the agenda. This is public comment. I announced earlier in the meeting that I would be limiting public comment time to 1 minute per speaker, as we have a lot of board members who need to leave this meeting on the early side. So I will first check in with our clerk to see if anyone has submitted electronic comment or a speaker card.
There are no comment cards for public comment.
Wow. Okay. Well, I will go ahead and make the offer. Oh, it looks like Member Hernandez needs to be promoted, and I will just let the members of the public who are attending via Zoom use the raise hand feature to be recognized. And those who are calling in can press *9 to raise your hand in the Zoom app. And I'll give you 1 moment to see if any hands get raised. And seeing no hands raised, we will go ahead and close public comment at this time, which will bring us to our consent agenda. Colleagues, are there any questions on the items on the consent agenda? Okay, seeing no questions, I'll ask our clerk if there are any public comments on the consent agenda.
There is no one signed up for public comment for the consent agenda.
Okay, very good. And I don't see any hands raised. So I'll bring it back to the board for a motion and a second.
I'll move approval of the consent calendar.
A second.
Okay, very good. We have a motion by member Narum, and I apologize. Who was the second? Was that member Marquez?
Yes.
Yes, the second was member Marquez. Mr. Clerk, please call the roll.
Yes. Alameda County.
Aye.
Hold on 1 second. Albany. Albany.
Albany's here.
Okay, I will come back to Albany. Berkeley. Dublin.
Hey, Adrian, I think Kate Harrison is listed as an attendee. So she needs to go over as a panelist.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Dublin is a yes.
Okay, thank you. Fremont.
Yes.
Hayward.
Aye.
Livermore.
Aye.
Newark.
Aye.
Oakland.
Aye.
Welcome, thank you. Piedmont.
Yes.
Pleasanton.
Aye.
Tracy. Okay. Union City.
Yes.
San Leandro.
Aye.
Emeryville.
Aye, and I believe we need to round back to Albany. Member Tiedemann,
Yes.
couldn't hear you last time.
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Thank you. The motion passes.
I'd like to register my vote as well. This is Berkeley. Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
Aye.
Welcome, Member Harrison. Thank you
Yes.
for
Thank
joining
you.
us.
Thank you. And Alameda County was a yes. Okay, great. Yes, the motion passes.
Very good. That'll bring us to our regular agenda. That takes us to the CEO report. I'll turn it over to Nick. Did we lose our CEO? No, he's there.
I hope not.
I was talking to a blank screen. So,
Well, here we are.
all right. Well, main things I wanted to share are we held a marketing, regulatory, and legislative subcommittee meeting on Friday, September 10th, where members received an update on regulatory items of interest and an overview of marketing activities for the next 6 months. So it was sort of a general work plan of what's coming. The next MRL subcommittee meeting will be held on Friday, October 8th. The Finance Administration and Procurement Subcommittee also met on September 10th. They received an update on the status of the audit and a review of past performance of energy hedges and forecast hedge levels. It was I think a very interesting conversation about, in particular, how we are starting to try to integrate the PCIA into our energy risk management activities. And then, as we've discussed quite a bit at a number of our meetings, the California Community Choice Financing Authority has been meeting and working on the prepayment structure. And in July and August, the CCCFA, of which I am the chair, authorized the issuance of these bonds for MCE and EBC and Silicon Valley Clean Energy, respectively. The next meeting of CCCFA will be on October 28th. And so I'm particularly pleased to share. We have 3 new colleagues. First is Lori Dines, who joined on September 13th. She is joining as our marketing programs manager and is going to be working very closely with both the marketing team and the programs team to do all of the campaign work that we're going to need to be running as we start to go out and engage with customers from in everything from the AMP program, the arrearage management program, to our resilient home program, to other programs that we're going to be launching here in the coming months. And I'm not sure if Lori here, you can say hello. Oh, no, I don't know if Lori is here. If not, certainly next meeting we will give her a chance to say hello. And then we have 2 interns as well, Sophia Collins and Celine LaRuder. They both also joined on September 13th, and they are both supporting the Power Resources team, doing valuation and contract management work. So welcome, Lori, Sophia, and Celine. And that is the extent of my CEO report.
Great. Thank you, Nick. Welcome to Lori, Sophia, and Celine. Colleagues, are there any questions on the content of the CEO report? Okay, seeing none, I'll check in with the clerk. Has anyone submitted electronic comment on the CEO report today, Mr. Bankhead?
There are no comments for the CEO report.
Thank you, and I will remind attendees that you can use the raise hand feature to be recognized in Zoom, or you can press *9 to raise your hand. And seeing no raised hands at this time, I will go ahead and public comment on this item. Thank you, Nick, for your report. That'll bring us to the next item. This is the Community Advisory Committee report, and I'll turn it over to our representative.
Hi all.
There you are.
I don't have much to say today. I'm somewhat sad to indicate that we had nobody who was willing to step up to be chair or vice chair in our September meeting on Monday. There are a few things that we're seeking to do to try and have Jane and I, after our 2 years now as chair and vice chair, kind of be able to step down and have somebody else step up. So we're working on that. Next, but based upon how it went, next month, you would have me here again if I were actually going to be available, but I'm not. And so you're going to see Jane Frank, who's been the current vice chair for the last couple of years. So one of the things that I'm suggesting is at the time that we again add new people, it's going to be a little bit before we need new people on the CAC, that one of the areas that we explore is whether or not people are willing to at some point step up into a leadership role. I know this was a question that I think I was asked when I was brought on a couple of years ago, and it seems like it might be a good one to ask future folks. It shouldn't preclude them from being, nominated to be on the CAC, but it'd be nice to know that there's at least one or two who are willing to do it, assuming that everything goes through. So that was kind of the big thing that happened for the CAC. And the other thing I'm going to mention, because the LMI electrification item has been moved to the executive committee on Friday, for those of you on the executive committee, I want to make sure that you're aware that the CAC did have a chance to talk about this, and that we felt it was, we support this as an opportunity for EBCE. There were a lot of program design questions that our group had in terms of how this money would, how the program that this money would be used for would be designed. And a lot of good ideas, a lot of good questions. And because we didn't get into it there, but know that as a concept, the CAC does feel they support it. I think that's it.
Very good. Thank you, Mary. Colleagues, are there any questions for our representative from the Community Advisory Committee? Member Hannan.
Yes, thank you, Madam President. And I may have asked this question last month when Mary was mentioning that they were looking for additional members to become part of the Community Advisory Committee. I certainly recognize the value that the committee brings as kind of a citizen review of what we're doing. And I may have asked this before, and I apologize. Do we compensate the members of the Community Advisory Committee? Do they receive a stipend?
Yes, they do.
Yes.
Thank you. May I ask what is that stipend?
It is half of the stipend that the board members receive.
Okay, maybe something for staff to consider either next budget time, but maybe we need to increase the stipend for the Community Advisory Committee, because I do recognize that they spend a significant number of hours in these areas, and we certainly want to make sure that their time is compensated fairly. And maybe that would be an inducement to get other members to step up and at that president, vice president level. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, Member Hannan. Colleagues, are there any other questions on this item? I actually have a question, Mary. Are you termed out as a member completely by our bylaws? Remind me.
July. I'm
July.
here. I'm here through next July is my four-year period.
Okay, but in terms of your leadership role as president, was there a term on that?
2 one-year terms, and I'm beyond it. And I could be vice chair. My vice chair could be chair. You can either be chair or vice chair for 2 periods, so 2 years each. So at this point, yes, I'm beyond what the expected period is for myself as chair.
And then would you be, I don't want you to have to speak on behalf of Jane, but do you get the sense that the 2 of you would be interested in serving any longer if we made bylaw adjustments?
This is, the vice chair position, maybe Jane would be, I'm more than willing to